Lucas Almeida is a good fighter. He's a vet. He's been in the UFC about 5 fights. I wouldn't say OG, but he's a vet. It's a good style for me. I think coming off a full camp is gonna be great for me. Going back to my weight class, I think he's just gonna show hey, I could fight at 55. Clearly, we've seen that on 3 days. I still put up a great fight at 55. Like I could fight 45, I could fight 55, but I think we're gonna see at 45 that you're going to see why that's my home. Why I was a champ at Fury. I think I bring something different at 45. I bring a style that hasn't really been seen too much. I think I'm going to bring a dynamic that's missing in the weight class. I think it's kind of lacking a little bit, our weight class at least, ever since, Max, Volk, and Ilya just kind of wiped out the division. They kind of made it where it's like, God, no one can beat these guys. And everyone after those three are just kind of stuck floating around from 3 to 15, all those guys are almost in the same boat. So I think they're missing a little spark, and I think I'm going to be the person to be able to come in there, shake up the division. And I think starting with Almeida, a vet, as my, one of my first fights at 45 is going to be a great test and a great showing to see where my levels are and where I'm going to be at and where I'm heading.
Man, traveling to Brazil. Brazil is notoriously one of the most difficult places to travel to and fight.
Yeah.
And you're obviously fighting against a hometown guy there. What are you doing to prepare to go into quite literally enemy territory and go compete against this man?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm doing too much different or like I'm like putting extra noise or nothing. I think at the end of the day, like, the UFC is paying me to go travel to Brazil. I think it's a pretty dope opportunity. I think it's pretty sick. I think people, dream of traveling the world, and it's not feasible. I mean, they asked me if I wanted to fight. I said absolutely, right? So the first thing I do is I go and look at the tickets because my boys want to pull out to Brazil, and a flight ticket's like $1,800. So. The fact that they're paying for my flight, they're paying me to go fight in Brazil, I think it's great. Against a hometown guy, I think it makes it even sweeter. I think it's going to be good to, to show that, hey, there's no fluke, like who I am and what I'm going to do, At the end of the day, like, yeah, it's going to be loud. They said the arena sold out in 15 minutes when it went on sale. So it's going to be a sold out crowd. It's going to be packed. And Brazil is the fight capital of the world. I mean, right? That's where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was founded, was built. The Gracies, that's where they came out of. This is Brazil. Like, this is it. This is what we dream of. When I used to watch all the UFC fights in Brazil, you could hear the crowd through the TV. You can't even listen to the commentators. So I think it's going to be an experience. I think the UFC sees me fight, and they know that I'm not an apex fighter, that, I deserve to be in front of a crowd. And I mean, whatever the Brazilian people are going to say, it's not like I can understand them anyways. So I'll just pretend like they're cheering for me.